quite easily 2-0 in my opinion, but you never know. Ravens might be able to steal a cheeky map here or there as they do push towards Diggy. Looks like it's going to be an opening A hit.
Quick note, we have no game sound on stream.
Right now looking pretty good back and forth trade, but I mean, just interesting ways that they're peaking right now just on this site and just going for the trade. But like right now, Raven looking pretty good, and this is looking pretty dire at the moment. Trades are back and forth. There is at least a kid on Connie, but they already get shot down. They're hanging out in the library. Riv is nowhere to be seen. They're trying to do the impossible, the 1v3, but they're just going to get shut down, and already a good start for the Ravens.
A very good start indeed from they pretty much went straight for a diggity, split Carnage wide open, and then, yeah, they couldn't really progress from there on. So, good start to both the map and the series here for Ravens, as they'll just go straight for an anti-eco. Meanwhile, for Carnage, they're beyond an interesting buy there with the Nova, but I see this working, to be honest. That Nova can be very disruptive, especially if you just go straight behind Broken Wall or one of the cubbies near A. It can work out perfectly.
Certainly covers apartments as well. D goes a little bit back and forth. They do manage to get...
There we go.
Trasha, yeah, there's a little... Certainly doing his job. There's Anne. Oh my god, she is blowing them out of apartments, evicting them. I didn't know Anne was the landlord at Inferno, but apparently she is. And right now it is just Vixen, and this is gonna be pretty much the round over unless they do something crazy, but I don't think it's gonna be the case. They're shut. Certainly one way to come back a rolling now to see what they use with the economy. Do they go ahead and upgrade, or do they just stick with what they got?
Well, it looks like they are just going to be going for a mix, but yeah, that was a glorious round there from BBR, just using the Nova pretty much to perfection there around Diggity, just popping off a few heads, and then she didn't even over-aggress. She just played it what normally only peaked when she needed to, and look what happened. The damage was completely done, and Ravens, well, they'll lose their first round, and they're forced on to an early eco here. Meanwhile, for Carnage, as I said earlier, a bit of a mix. Riv onto the M4, everyone else onto SMGs as, well, wait, Ravens looks like they are just going to play passively here, and something to point out, this is a recurring theme you'll probably see from Carnage here. They normally like to give up that top Bernardo control. It does hurt them at times, but normally it does work out for him as Riv looks funny opening.
Right now, a little back and forth in a trade. Just going to go for slight open phase paint on Coffin. Just going to go ahead and set up and try to hold down the site. They only have a Flash and Molly to their name, but I mean, there is a lot of utility, and I mean, they're already going to get Trina, and this is looking good for Carnage, as they will be able to just go ahead and take out Watanti, and then there it is, at least one more kill, and they only got Jasmine. Last one remaining does catch them off guard, but oh my god, and I think this is a signature weapon of theirs, because they are pretty dead on it.
Yeah, you can definitely say that. That is easily more than $5,000 added to the economy of BBR.
They have 10 grand already. It's round 4.
$900 kill bonus, ladies and gentlemen. It does a wonders to your economy, and she's going to keep it into the third round. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I love this. I already am enjoying this series. Potentially.
You don't see Mac-10s carry it over too much nowadays. You see them get thrown out and bought up immediately, but it's nice to see it carried over, and it could do a lot of damage, especially since it is being taken here into Banana.
Definitely.
It's not broken.
Yeah, but I'm saying that, look at Hope's economy. It's not really that strong. She only has $800 after armor and utility, so has to try and get as much as little as she can. And, well, Trina, let's try that just to find one, but will be traded out. And once again, top 9 control given over to the T's.
Riv got a little bit toasty in that Molotov trying to get away. Lost so much health. I think it was about 60.
Yeah. Does allow them to set up the crossfire, though. Just be able to hold down the site, be a little bit more better. At least get the trades when the rotation starts coming in. But it looks like they're going to just go ahead and start committing to A. Only losing Trina in the process. This is definitely still in the favor of Ravens to maybe make it 2 for 2.
It is, and they do have so much more utility than Carnage does actually at the moment either. They have 2 flashbangs left, which is in the hands of their Mac-10. So that's
true, but here's the thing. There's the kits. We always talk about the kits, you.
Oh, I haven't even thought about kits yet. Don't get me on that train.
It's definitely in favor for Carnage. Oh my. Okay. Well, that worked. Well, the bomb's been planted, but they can certainly set up at library.
They can, but they do have the orb here in Artemis's hands. Will Artemis be able to find these players that are being sneaky, hiding, and no, the earlier kill hasn't come in yet, so we'll just be playing for exits and saving at the moment.
Yeah, and that's all they can really do here. It was a good call there by Ravens not to commit straight towards B side and then fall back over towards A. Able to get the 2-for-1 over towards Boiler and Normal Pit, and then, well, after that, there was really no opportunity there for Carnage to come back in, and, well, they will be losing that second round of the game. Their economy will be fairly mixed now as well. A couple of players over 3,000, obviously Beyond being the obvious example of that, but look at Connie and Hope. They're both under that mark. And, well, if they are going to buy, it's going to be a very mixed buy here, but let's see what they go for. It looks like Beyond will be able to drop for one of the teammates, Hope. Back onto the Deagle, obviously getting that one dig in the second round. It was a pretty good kill there, as once again Carnage decided not to really contest top Nana, and Raven should have a good holding pad here if they want to go towards B.
Right down here, just patience gathering information for the side of Ravens. No peaks, just hanging out in apartments, seeing which sites are best to go. But it looks like they are getting ready towards B. Maybe try to bait out a little bit from A, see if they can get a trade so that if the rotation happens, not going to be player advantage for them. But we'll have to wait and see what's happening. Right now, Carnage looking pretty good to just take whatever names are going to pop out of the smoke. And Natasha just going to be able to drop utility, try to psych them out, and then they're all going to go toward B. Yeah, they are. But they're trying to psych out. But that kill onto Connie, they're going to know that they're just kind of rotating on to B side, and looks like they're going to be able to handle down. One trade is going to go. Riv goes down. There's an op coming in, and coming to save the day is Artemis.
Riv did a lot of damage from the flowers there, but he wasn't able to capitalize.
Whew. I mean, they tagged Vixen.
It did tag Vixen and Trina as well. Trina got taken down quite early, and Natasha getting to one, almost second. There is one still player. Oh, Vixen's dead now.
Here we go.
Nathias, last player left alive. Oh, sticking the bomb. Almost getting the defuse. Artemis, last player left alive, has this orb and isn't actually going to try for it.
Oh.
And, well, that's an unfortunate round for Carnage. They could have had it. Hope obviously sticking it. I think she might have just misclicked off it because or she didn't have a kit, because that felt definitely a lot more than 5 seconds on the bomb. They did? Okay, so she was either just off or...
And there was enough time, but in saying that, the player being so close, it was an extremely dangerous situation. If you tap that bomb, you're in a very awkward predicament.
Whoa!
Yeah, exactly. As Artemis just pogs Vixen out of the server there. A beautiful shot by the AWP of the Carnage, but as I was going to say, as I said earlier, Carnage tend to try and leave top Nana open for their opposition. Now, it's always a bit of a risky strategy, because if they have an execute set up, and if it really relies on top Nana, then you're giving the T's a lot of advantages there. I saw this was, and that was a pretty recurring theme during most of the regular season games on for Carnage on Inferno CT side. It was a bit annoying to see, but it does work out normally. And, well, once that starts to get in motion, then, yeah, life gets quite hard here for Ravens. But in saying that, Ravens not looking too good right now, as on the mix buy, they're already down to 2 players. We're split between mid and anti-mid here. Not really too much they can do, and this should be the round going into the hands of the CTs, and we should be seeing a free all.
In theory, we should, but you never know with these rifles, with the skill of these players. Nathia does have the bomb, though. Gets one kill, but will he be able to survive the AWP? No.
Nope.
No, she will not.
No, it's very tall order to ask for a 1v5 to come in clutch. Very few people have done it. So, I mean, there's nothing to blame on them. But, yeah. And, well, it's been certainly back and forth for both sides. I mean, Chris, what do the teams have to do to gain more ground to at least have a 2-round lead?
Well, it's always tricky, especially on Inferno, which can be a tricky map to navigate, especially if the teams are trading rounds early on. I really think the Carnage maybe be slightly more aggressive in their holds. They do tend to be a little bit hyper-passive, if you can be hyper-passive. And that does give them some problems at times, as I keep saying. But in saying that, they should be able to get a few rounds on the board now. Ravens obviously on to the full eco here. Only a few flashes with the P250s being brought up. And it looks like they're just going to go for the Desperado strat through Carps. Let's see what happens here. As, well, they might be able to sink a bomb plant.
They might, but it doesn't look like it. Natasha does somehow escape that situation with an AWP in hand as well. It is a 1v4. Maybe she'll escape and survive with that AWP or get a couple more kills. Does still have 50 seconds left, so can play around quite a bit, trying to do something, but doesn't really.
But the thing is, she doesn't have bomb control. That is stuck on the ledge there, and well, unless she wants to try and risk going for a Carps once again, can't really do too much.
Oh, that's
good shot there onto Riv.
Wow.
Oh, gee, that was a quality shot there, and well, 20 seconds remaining. The round is all but gone at this point, but still. A good regard stand there from Natasha just to get a few cheeky kills on the board, and more importantly, an AWP. That will mean that Ravens should be looking to get a 4-buy in the next, and looking at their economy, it should be relatively decent buy as well. Should be seeing at the very least basic rifles being brought up, and in the worst case scenario, maybe a few not for Masters, a few Galils, and maybe a UMP here or there.
Well, we do have that UMP coming out that you just mentioned. See whether it can do anything, but Ravens, is this going to be the downfall where they lose those 2 rounds that we haven't seen happen yet? Or will they be able to pick it up and keep it 4-4?
Very good question, but once again, I do have to bring your attention over towards top Banana. Carnage has given it over once again, and well, it hasn't really worked out for him so far because, well, if you've seen the past few rounds, which hopefully you have, but, you know, you might have lagged or whatnot, but anyways, the past few rounds they've left it open. Ravens have been able to just waltz on in, set up, and then roll onto B side, so hasn't been the right call so far for Carnage, but in saying that, both Connie and Riv are pretty nutty gamers, have decent enough aim, can play off of those positions, but in saying that, looks like Ravens are just going to be taking their time here. It will be a late sort of execute here, but 50 seconds remaining. They might even go towards the A side, but Trina looks like she might be making her way back over towards mid or even trying for around the world. That means the A side is all but off the table here for Ravens, and it looks like it will be B execute as Vixen starts to come in.
Swarming onto the site, they are going to be able to at least get the kill onto Connie, so that's going to be good for them. But the utility still heavily, very much in favor, and they are just taking him down. A pistol even. Riv doesn't even need a primary weapon. They said they are perfectly fine silencing them with their silence pistol.
Definitely, and that is what Carnage really needed to do there. They gave up on flower pods and on coffins. They sent players over towards oranges and Nubox, and it worked out perfectly, especially for Riv. A nice little quadra there to pick up the 5th round there for Carnage, and as you said earlier, gain a 2-round lead advantage, which can be crucial on Inferno, but this map, probably one of the more balanced maps in Counter-Strike, so that gap can easily get taken away very quickly if Carnage are not careful enough. But in saying that, Ravens forced onto another eco here. Their economy in tatters at the current moment. We'll be able to get a 4-buy into the next, but yeah, it's going to be a tricky round. Not a lot of util. do have a few deagles, and especially Natasha and Vixen, they can be pretty sharp deagle gamers, so never know, might see a bit of an upset, but as they look
Potentially.
towards the A side, it's going to be a hard round for them.
It will be a hard round for them. You're absolutely right. I mean, looking at this, all right, BBN does hear some movement going in. They're just going to take a couple shots. They are going to be able to find a couple of kills, and they drop the bomb. There's a deagle shot. My goodness, they will be able to get at least some result here. They do have an M4, but they don't check pit. Unfortunately, they only took one glimpse, and they do not manage to find somebody. And IPA will be able to wrap it up. They do dent the economy ever so slightly for Carnage, but you're absolutely right, especially with the fact that Carnage is a very patient team. They don't need to worry about rushing or trying to commit the kill to enemies. Like, BBN was the only one doing anything purely aggressive.
Yeah, Carnage don't really seem to be an aggressive CT-sided team here. They just took their time once again. Obviously, good round there from... Sorry?
Which I love, is what I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, definitely. A lot of teams can over-aggress on Inferno, but it's saying that Carnage can be a team that gets a bit too passive. You know, they give up full top mid, they give up top niner, and, well, the T-side's able to just waltz in, set up, and delete them on the sides. But hasn't happened in a while here for him, so it's working out for him nicely, as obviously Ravens just taking the 1 minute breather here, wants to just try and cool down. I mean, they have to as well here. Snowball is slowly starting to grow for Carnage, and well, if they don't stop it soon enough, then Carnage will be getting a 1-0 lead, and well, giving that sort of advantage to the best female team in Australia, definitely not the right call. But as I say
In
that,
the world.
I don't know about that one, Chief. I hate to break it to you, but
I mean, technically that would be who is it? Lazarus? The team from Russia, from WESG?
I wouldn't. We are talking about female Counter-Strike. I would say that I think it was either Dignitas or CLG Red are probably better.
No, it was
Lazarus,
CLG Red. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Lazarus came in second. They were in the grand finals at the very least.
Yeah.
Anyway, all very strong teams.
Yeah, exactly. Carnage is a strong team as well. They did themselves proud at the Intel Challenge at KdTV, but obviously still a bit more time for them to try and develop it into the best in the world. But in saying that, still a long ways off yet. But back to the action at hand here. Once again, top Nana given over, and Ravens will just hold up in at Nana, take up their time, and well, it looks like it's just going to be another big execute here. Important to point out that Artemis has returned over towards Coffin, so let's see how this goes as Ravens push into side.
Rift drops his flash. They are going to be able to find a couple hanging out of Coffin. They are getting a couple flashes, they're avoiding it, but they are getting a triple kill, and I mean, they're just going to leave this world after saving the team. Carnage is now in a very firm 4-round lead, and this is the kind of momentum we want to see, taking advantage of Raven's aggression. And I really got to say, do you think there maybe is a difference in the prioritization of what they're buying? Like maybe they should be trying to focus more on buying armor and utility rather than weapons?
I think their buying's actually pretty on point, to be honest. Ravens, it's just, well, I mean, the past few rounds over towards B-side, it's just been, especially Riv's just been popping up quite nicely. Obviously, the 4K a few rounds before, and then nice little twofer as well here. Obviously, Artemis is doing the majority of work with the AWP, pretty much securing Carnage around there. But no, they're buying is, well, they're buying what they need to, and it's just not working out, as obviously they
it's
are
just a matter of outplaying.
Yeah, exactly. That's all they need to do, but Carnage are in their groove now. They can play it passively without too many restrictions, and yeah, once they get to that spot, it's pretty hard for Ravens to come through, but Hope getting herself a nice little triple there with the AUG, and obviously it's an eco round, so it is expected, but still, nice aim there from Hope.
Yeah.
As Ravens now stuck down to 1.
Oh, and a little bit of tactical crouching. Unnecessary, but all the same, they will be able to shut it down. Again, just Carnage just staying to their side, and they'll say, we won't bother you unless you come to ours, and just, it is really just a matter of, like, Carnage really does have, like, great tracking, and on top of that, they just really are having sort of a game of hot potato right now of seeing who's going to be the star of the show each round. Like Artemis been popping off. Riv just got a 3K earlier. BBon got a double through the smoke. Things are looking good for him.
And now they turn it up as well here because Riv goes aggressive into Nana. It's able to find one with the flash assist of Artemis. And Connie through the smoke, able to take down Jasmine. And well, Raven's in disarray. They can't really do too much. And yeah, when Carnage goes aggressive, it's sort of like when a jockey pulls up a horse 50 meters before the end of a race. They know that they are in a dominating position and they can just put on the coolers and just cruise to the end of the half because, well, Ravens, they are in a bit of a tricky position.
Yeah, they are in a tricky position, and Carnage is kind of flourishing at the moment. Look at the economy. It's really good. They can go aggressive as much as they want to. And also the fact is that they get a great disengage. They're not greedy. They go for a frag. If they don't find it, they get tagged. They disengage as quick as they can, as long as they can live. And it's really, rewarding them a lot. They're getting so much value, and they're denying bomb plants as well, which is like another few $100 every so round that could have been great for Ravens to come back at it. And also on top of that, I mean, Ravens drop a lot of utility before entering the site. That just feels like at the moment they're getting shut down like this. They don't have any way to drop as many smokes as they want or flashes to be able to steer the team fight the way they want to. And I think as a T set, that's very, very important.
Yeah, definitely. If you have no control of the round or any part of the map, really, especially on Inferno T side, then you're pretty much just talking to a wall for the most part. As once again they try to go for the B side, but Riv just a bit too dominant, and well, Carnage will be able to pick up their ninth here. The economy for Ravens now starting to get mixed as Natasha can't do too much, only able to afford a CZ and utility lacking on the majority of these players. Thought that Nate would have done a little bit more, but that's unfortunate to say the very least. But yeah, it's just seems like Ravens have fallen to the wayside a little bit here. Carnage have taken full control, and yeah, that's what's happening, really.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but if Raven just could get a few more rounds before the first half ends, they're still in this. And, arguably they're still in this right now. They've had a showing like earlier in the beginning when they had the momentum in their favor before Carnage kind of took that away from them. We saw a very convincing team that looked like they could easily cause the upset. Because technically you were speaking, Carnage is in the favor. But right now, Connie able to get Trina. Can they get the second kill? They do manage to tag Riv a little bit. But they are slowing down process. Throws a nade. Does a little damage. They actually do a little bit more. They actually just obliterate Trina out of the server right now. It's now 1-for-1. And a trade that I think would be more in value for Carnage at the moment. Things are looking up and up for them. Natasha will just go ahead and try to come and bring in some backup while Vixen tries to push in with Jasmine. See if they can get a plant. And you should probably try to go for it now as they're able to slow down the progression through Carnage. But BBon and they will just push through. They're looking for the 3K, but they do get shut down by Vixen. Coming in and saving the day. Just pops out of nowhere. Jasmine is able to get information, but they do get popped out. There's a back and forth, but it's not going to be enough. Open face plant. You do manage to finally get the bomb plant, but unfortunately it is just going to get shut down. They're going to pick up weapons that they so desire, and now Carnage again just looked so convincingly, getting trades that are way more in value for them than it would be for Ravens.
Yeah, definitely, especially that play from BBon. Definitely learning for a time in FPLC there. Just runs straight through in towards on towards B-side and just goes, "What's up, gamers?" and just deletes two of them off the map.
Yes, they got a hard to steal. They've been rushing through these smokes and just getting so many benefits right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was a nice little Molotov there. A lot of damage taken off early from the T side as Rip just goes higher straight into mid or into Nana, and yeah, this is the story of the first half here on Inferno. Carnage, a bit slow start, but once they got into gear, well, yeah, that's all you can say, really. They got into gear and they just cruised straight into the lead and have built up a nice little advantage into the half.
I can't help but thinking there might be something where they could invest into more utility as opposed to maybe getting it off. Maybe go 5 AKs, get more utility, try to even it out with that. Because there really, I feel like, is something maybe missing there in that retrospect, Chris.
Oh, definitely, but as BBR finds another 2 for the smoke, obviously just seeing the players out here, it's an easy round there for Carnage as they take out the penultimate, but
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No.
Oh, well, go ahead, Chris. Well, they do kind of have an economy to maybe just invest into it. I mean, this is the last round and a half, but
yeah.
I guess this is where we just talk about what they should start thinking about in this next half to start, like, taking the trek over to getting into double digits along with Carnage.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be their main goal in the second half, but as I was saying, their buying has been pretty good, to be completely honest with you, in the first half. I mean, I understand why people would want to go for utility, but at the same time, I definitely understand why you wouldn't go for the AWP instead, because especially if you feel like you're not finding frags, that AWP can just give you that little bit of extra oomph that you need. Obviously, Vixen didn't need the AWP there to find the kill onto Artemis, finally being caught out for playing over towards barrels, but as they push in towards the B side here, this could just be the fourth round on the board for the T side, but here comes Connie able to find a double, but Vixen with a second. That'll be a bomb plant in the 3v2 to end off the half.
That's very true. They do manage to get the bomb plant, but can they keep the site going? They do manage to get BB on. Time is in favor for Epo, and they will be coming from Banana. They have a 2v2 situation. They have technically some utility to split up this fight if they so desire. They do get one information that one's hanging out in construction. They're caught in the crossfire. They got the deagle. Yeah, they're going to go for it. Artasha will just see if they can find it, but nice little headshot coming in. And they at least get one more round before going into the next half. Chris, I mean, this was a very convincing lead coming in for Carnage, and your statistics are speaking quite a lot of volumes here with the performance that we've been seeing.
Yeah, this is the reason why a lot of bookies were offering Carnage at $1.20. They're just a tier above the rest of the female scene in Australia, really. I mean, as I said earlier, Ravens on their best day can definitely take a map off them, but we're not seeing them at their best today, and, well, Carnage are punishing for that, or they're punishing him for it, so, yeah.
Is this their map pick, by the way?
Sorry?
Is this their map pick, by the way?
That is a good question. Unfortunately, I didn't get specific vetoes in time, so I would have to check that up with our producer, but I wouldn't be surprised if Carnage did pick this map. It has been a map they have played a lot of in the regular season. Mm-hmm. And also, as Connie gets a nice little shot there onto Natasha, someone in chat said Hope is playing with broken arm. Well, if she is, then it's definitely not affecting her at all, as Willow Pogs out there finds the twofer and brings it back into a 2v2, and look where the bomb is dropped. That is a very tricky spot for Carnage to have to play with now, and with Jasmine just holding out in Connie might be going 6 feet under.
Could potentially, oh my gosh, Connie will go 6 feet under, like you said, maybe a few more inches on top of that. And, well, that is the momentum that you're looking for. If I'm not mistaken, actually, Raven have won both pistol rounds, so let's see if they can carry this one over and go the distance. Or if BB just goes ahead and buys another shotgun.
Would be good to see another Nova, but unfortunately Carnage, no bomb plant means no economy in the second. They will be going for AKs in the third. But in saying that, we all know what happened in the second round of the first half. Carnage just said hi out to Ravens and just to lead them off the service.
Yeah, WMAS one.
The second round falter, but in saying that, the MP9s, they are pretty decent second round weapons. We should be seeing Ravens pick themselves up the sixth round, but yeah, as you said, it's trying to get a little bit of momentum back. That's what you do want to see, especially heading onto the CT side. And as well, they have a bit of utility to work with, so they can hold out Carnage until the last moment where they have to do an SK rush and should be all over, right over from there.
And this is where you can definitely, like, if you have the utility, you can definitely take advantage of Carnage's passive playstyle. You can do amazing flanks that are around the world, or you can just sort of manipulate them to see where they're going. They do get a little information that one's hanging out towards mid, but they're not, I think they're not aware just yet that Carnage is going in as a group towards Banana. And there will be a little bit of a rude awakening for Raven. They do manage to get a couple of kills. Oh my god, yep, that is the element of surprise, my friend. Chris, I'm just letting you know right now that this is, sometimes if you don't have the information and that passive style just coming into play, you don't give a lot of information, your enemy's not going to know where to put the majority of their resources.
Yeah, and as Willow makes her way into Coffin, I mean, definitely not the case here, but oh my god, Vixen starting to pop off here now. So lots of armor, it's 1v2.
Oh, that's one.
What can she do? Can she find a second? She has to reload.
You gotta reload.
And she gets it! Able to hold it out, 3v1. But yeah, Carnage, that was a good round to go straight onto the B side. They just SK rushed in. Raven's couldn't do too much about it. They nearly lost a round though, Carnage. Obviously not having any armor as well. Did significantly, but Artemis, definitely one of the better players on this team. She's been playing at a relatively high level for a fair few years now, and that experience shows. Able to get the 1-for-3 clutch and or 1-for-2 clutch, sorry, and that's how the quickly crumbles into the second of the second half. Carnage pick up the 12th, and Ravens, they go straight into the bin.
Yeah, unfortunately, and also allowing Artemis to have that reload time as well was kind of huge. Unfortunately, just not pushing in there. But either way, it is a new round. It's a new day. The Raven, they obviously can win rounds, but they are just going to have to play the waiting game right now. And Chris, is there any other things that maybe Ravens can do to improve on what they've always been trying to do very well?
Well, I mean, there's a lot they can do, but as I said earlier, Carnage is just on a different tier, and that is showing right now, especially in that last round. I mean, that could have been a nice little kill there for Vixen, but unable to just find the frag. This B side is going to be ripped wide open very shortly here. Jasmine unable to find a frag, and yeah, that should be 13th on the ball for Carnage. But as I was going to say, I mean, Ravens, they're doing the best they can. It's just not their day from so far, as Carnage is able to outmaneuver, outbuy, and pretty much outplay him at every opportunity so far.
Well, a friendly reminder that this is a best of 3, and there's a little thing called reverse sweep, Chris. So that is
as a League of Legends fan, especially watching LCS on the weekend. Please
that was. Oh man. Oh, were you a TSM fan?
No, I'm luckily a Liquid fan, so.
Okay, well, fair enough.
I'm guessing you're a TSM fan, aren't you, Beamy?
No, I am none. I am no.
Good,
fan.
because I was about to rip you a new one. So.
No, I haven't found I haven't actually found a CS:GO, a League of Legends team that I'm a fan of yet. I tend to root for Asia scenes a lot more, just because I have such an experience with a lot of different esports in that field. I have so much admiration for them.
Yeah, especially when looking at your EDGs, your JDGs, and obviously SKT. Who, I mean, what can you not say about them? That's not going to be positive.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, very true. But speaking of positivity, let's shift it on back to the Oceania region.
True, but just before we do go back, there is one thing that Ravens can do, and well, to paraphrase a recent League of Legends meme, go next fast, because unless they start to really pop off and do the near improbable, it's going to be hard for them to come back. They do find a 2-point over towards Nana, but with most of the players heading over towards the A side, this could be a cheeky round for Ravens, but just have to wait and see. Connie doing a lot of damage onto Willow.
Huge tag as well, so we'll have to wait and see if that comes into play, if they could switch it up to a 3v3. Good disengage coming in, though. Jazz, it's interesting. Ravens they committed utility as well onto Site B. I think they're just expecting them to still go banana, and I think they are. I think they've just done
they can't go right
rotate, the double switch. Yeah, they got to commit to this now.
Well, look at Connie. She's going to be so crucial in this round. She's coming in straight through CT, and they won't know until it's probably too late as they start to push in.
Yeah, that's very true. Jasmine is able to catch Riv. Jasmine's able to catch Connie, but they are going to be able to shut it down. Raven finally does get a round on the board, and this does even out the economy a little bit for both sides. So this is kind of like the big trial moment. Can Raven start getting a string of rounds together?
Well, they have to really, because they lost by bonus. Well, it's not looking too good, especially now if they lose this. they are all but giving up the 15th over towards Carnage. So it's crucial they win this round and that they win it convincingly here. As if they only win this by, let's say, one player, their economy is still in a pretty risky position, especially if players like Vixen or Natasha fall. So have to be careful of how they play, but they keep going as they have in past few rounds, and there's no reason why that they can pick themselves up the 7th. As well, here comes the Nana play. Jasmine, it's going to be very crucial.
Oh, can they at least get the trade though? That's the big question. No, they just kind of fall back a little bit here, and that's unfortunate for them. They are going to peek through the smoke a little bit, but they're thinking about it. Oh, and I think they're going to just take that pick and walk away and just go to side A now that they've already done some damage. And already through pit, they do take out Vixen, and now they're kind of in a situation here where they're just going to get caught out altogether. Trina's able to get BB on. Can they find a second kill, though?
No, has to retreat.
Yeah.
Oh, he hate to see it. And that could be a crucial stuff up here, as that will allow the bomb to go down.
Like
Trina will get caught out.
Gone.
Yeah, exactly. And just like that, the tables turn, the fates are changed, and Carnage will find himself with a 14th. Unless Willow, also known as Spot Defiant in the server, can pog out, then yeah, Carnage have won the round. It was a good takeover towards the A side for him as well, especially from Hope, able to quickly clear out carpets and pit from the balcony, and then yeah, from that point on, especially with the failed Molotov, they were able to get the bomb planted without much contention, and yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles into 20th here. Willow might be able to find a frag, but will be pincered out. No, she'll be able to find herself a double.
Ooh.
Will mean the economy of Carnage will be slightly hampered, but more than enough for Tees to buy once again. As they pick up the 14. Sorry?
A little bit redeemable after the incendiary.
Oh yeah, definitely. A bit of redemption there. And now it will also mean that Ravens are able to get a fairly mixed buy-in, but they are now at the point of no return if they lose this round, because if Carnage go to 15th, their economy is all but dead, and when you have to buy pistol armor to try and keep yourselves in a game, at that point, it's all but over, really.
I always feel like at these rounds, you go for the save and you fight for OT. Because it's better to fight for OT with a lot of stuff rather than try to get some crazy like pickup play. But they do manage to get a couple of kills, and they do have the player advantage at the moment. So, I mean, that is some way to go with the momentum. There's not a lot of utility left for Carnage. They are going to shoot through smoke, and it is Artemis that's going to have the quicker time reactions, but still, they still have the player advantage, and things potentially could turn around for Ravens.
Definitely could. They're now in the 4v3 position here, but that B-side looking underdefended here. Natasha will make the rotation back over as Jasmine will throw out smoke, but Jasmine only has a P2000. She wasn't able to buy a lot, and well, that shows it's Artemis able to get the entry. And just like that, it's all up to Jasmine with the default. Can she find any sort of damage or even a kill? Or will this be all but over? She's going to be taken down, and that's a bomb planted. 3v2.
3v2, or technically 3v1, as both share the same amount of health for a full-on. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever said as well. But either way, it's fine. You're going to see a lot more higher IQ plays. Connie does take them, and I mean, yeah, I mean, we may as well just share the go to the next map. But here we go, match point. It's coming in. Not much you can do. I don't know, maybe buy Nova, see what happens.
They can't even buy Nova without going with armor.
That's true.
As they do call another time out here, obviously trying to think of what they should be doing in their last stand. But at this point, yeah, go next fast is probably your best call. Carnage, they've been all too dominant for the most part here. Definitely just, I mean,
they certainly have taken it. I think you can say Carnage their passive style really is something that has really challenged Raven, because Raven has been quite aggressive. While I admire the indomitable spirit and being able to commit to plays, and there's little to no hesitation from them, they have been kind of taking advantage. There's been corners that they haven't necessarily maybe peaked or they have not checked long enough. There was I remember earlier there was a moment where they managed to get a kill, but they didn't check pit long enough to see if there was a player. And one of the players from Carnage was able to take advantage of that. And that pretty much shut down their chances of winning that round.
Yeah, Hope was able to get a 2-for in that situation. And yeah, Ravens definitely a bit of a huggier style to their game plan. Obviously, on the T side, they were able to do a fair few good executes, especially on towards the B side. Caused a lot of problems with the Carnage, but as soon as Carnage caught on, I mean, yeah, it seems like the map was lost from that point onwards, really. As now with Carnage having a 9-round lead on map point, it's going to be hard for him to try and lose enough rounds against OT, but yeah, it's definitely been a battle of the conflicting styles, and Carnage's passive style has won out in the end. As Ravens, in a very tricky buy situation, I mean, look what they've been able to get. UMPs and pistols. You don't normally win with those.
Well, this is match point here, so I'm not surprised. So, do what you can with what you got, and hope for the best. And I mean, also on top of that, I think what can also be translated down to as well between Carnage and Raven is Carnage doesn't like to give a lot of information, whereas Ravens, because of their aggressive style, it does allow them to get a lot of information. Oh, but right now Trina takes a shot and a chance, and they do manage to get Epo. So waiting to see if that's going to be anything else. They are just going to go banana. Not a huge crossfire, but a huge incendiary will be able to help Natasha be able to get Connie. Rift is able to get Jasmine, but they're getting caught off guard. But it is still 3v3. They're going to go through construction, but unfortunately they don't really have a lot of armor to eat the damage. They do manage to get the trade, though, and it's still a 2v2 situation. No kit, so they do need to hurry up and try to just start focusing on this. Like Beyond, now realizing that maybe both players are here at the B side. Already turns around, does get one kill. Drops a flash. See what Vixen can do, but I don't think they have enough time. Yeah.
GG. And